Hey guys, Tennessee Tracer here. Hope you're having a great day or night or whenever it is you might be watching this. Maybe it's 2:30 in the morning, you had to make a run to the bathroom and you're sitting there and now your legs are getting numb and you're watching videos all night. So if you're doing that, glad you're watching my video. I hope you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below. First day with my new mouth, and I have no editing skills. The subscribe button down below, okay? As Chris Farley would say, I don't have editing skills. I'm not a videographer. So, and I'm not a English teacher either, apparently. So, and if you hear any snoring noises here in the next few minutes, that's Eddie the Wonder Cat, who may be joining us here in a moment. Anyway, let's jump right into this. I'm going to make, starting to get a few subscribers on here, so I'm going to start making a few other videos just to have some fun. And we don't know what we're going to get into. We might get into fishing. Maybe there's some new fishing gear we want to talk about. Maybe we're going to talk about one of my things that I'm into is church security. How to work church security, how to watch over the kids, protocols for all that kind of fun stuff. Maybe we're going to talk about Bible questions or something. All kinds of different things. We're going to get into different things. But today, we're going to talk about some just light stuff, some low impact stuff. The holidays are almost upon us. We're getting into the mid-October time. You know how it goes. You hit Halloween and the rest of the year is gone. So got to start looking for things to buy for gifts, right? So if you got a guy in your life it's a little bit hard to buy for, hopefully this will help you out a little bit. And if I scratch my face, I am sorry. Again, I don't have editing skills. I'm a slob. And with a cat, it's here in East Tennessee, I'm starting to get some allergies and cats. That is what it is. So my wife likes cats. These are pretty cool. Anyway, we're going to talk about gifts for guys today. And really, no, I'm not a misogynist. Yes, you can buy these for everybody. As a matter of fact, at least a couple of these, well, all of them, these would all work great if I had a daughter. And for her car or working on things or working around her house, these all are awesome things to have, okay? So it's for anybody, all right? So nobody can get offended. The first thing we're going to talk about is illumination. I'm kind of a geek when it comes to illumination. I like lights, flashlights, all that kind of stuff. And it intrigues me because these flashlights have gotten so much better for so much less money these days than they ever were. And this thing is killer. It's great to have around the house. I bought this at Harbor Freight. Hold your comments. Don't freak out yet just because I said Harbor Freight. This is very well made. This thing is hefty. It weighs like 1/3 of a pound, and you could knock somebody out if you chucked it at them. I mean, this thing is hardcore. I've dropped it on the concrete, kicked it around like a hockey puck. This is tough. It's made by a company, I guess, called Braun. I don't know who this company actually is, but it's about $29. So it's not, some cheap piece of junk. But this same kind of light, if you get it from Snap-on Tools, the Snap-on tool trucks drive around, it's going to be about 75 or $80. And I'm going to tell you why. This thing has 3 settings and it is bright. It will light up your entire backyard if you want it to. Okay. Now, it doesn't use batteries. It has a little port on the back here that you open that up, little rubber port, you open that up, and then you can recharge the internal battery on this thing. And I have charged and recharged this thing couple hundred times now, and it still holds a charge magnificently. But it uses I think this is for my Samsung Android had this cord. It's a very ordinary cord you can get for $1 or $2 at your local convenience store. But that just closes back up, keep the dust out, and then you have, I'm going to cover this up so I don't blind myself. As you see, it has LED readout to tell you how much of a charge is remaining. So when it's got all 3, it's good to go for hours, and then it will start deteriorating. And I'll turn that off. Oh, it's off. Now here's why this is so cool, though. Other than it's so bright and you can recharge it and save money. You open up the hood on your car, or whether you're working underneath it or you're working behind a refrigerator or something like that, I can take this. It has a magnet. Bang. Stick that on under the hood or wherever I'm at. And it's a strong magnet. Then I can just position this however I want it. I can turn it, like that. But this thing sits in a cradle that the light goes all the way around. And it really is a stout setup on that too, so it's not going to wear out anytime soon. But my kids and I use this all the time. My kids have a couple older cars, are always working on it. Got an intake manifold out in the garage right now. So this was being used last night. It takes a couple hours to recharge. The only bad thing about this is because of this yellow here, if you got grease on your hands, this gets, kind of dirtied up from time to time. You got to get some rubbing alcohol and a rag and get that cleaned up. So this is a awesome little gift. You can throw it in a stocking, put it in a big box and make it look extravagant, but $29 and it will last. Harbor Freight, can't beat that. It's not junk. The other thing I would say to get, and everybody in the family uses this as well, is this. Some of you already know what this is. This is a scanner for the codes in your vehicle. When something's going on with your vehicle, whether you can feel it or not, a little light might show up on your dash. And you go, oh, what does that mean? Don't panic. If you get one of these, you can plug this right in to the outlet for the computer in your car. Of course, today's car's got like 20 of these things in it. But there's one main computer that it generates a code that will tell you the basic idea of what's going on with the car. Now, how does that work, and how would you use it? You might say, I don't work on cars. How's this going to help me? I'll tell you how it would help you. And this is why I would, if I had a daughter, I would get this for her in a heartbeat. You plug this in there, and on my vehicles, it goes underneath the driver's side, where your knee is at down there, under the dash where your steering wheel is to the left there. If you look under there, if you use this light, you can find it. You can find the plug-in very quickly. But this plugs in, and then there's an app that you just download on your phone from the BAFX products, folks. It's free, and then that will link with your phone through the Wi-Fi. It just hooks right up on that, and you hit run codes, and it will scan the computer in your car, and it will tell you all the different codes that you have going on in your car. Maybe it's one, maybe it's two or three, because they can be related. This is how you help yourself with it. You can write down those codes or take a screenshot of whatever that is it's showing you. Then you look on YouTube, you Google that code along with your car year, and it will tell you approximately what they say is going wrong that's wrong. Now, excuse me, again, these allergies, guys. Let's say this throws a code, as an example, P0014. And it tells you that there's some kind of sensor that's damaged in your car, is not working right. Well, you can kind of shop for that. You can go to someplace like rockauto.com. No, I don't get compensated by them, but Rock Auto is awesome when it comes to prices for parts. And they'll ship it to you in a day or two. You got it. But you can get maybe that little part that's bad, that sensor or whatever that's bad, it might be $20 there instead of paying $120 locally. And you ran this, instead of paying $80 or something like that for your technician down the street to run it, you did it for, well, after a couple episodes, basically for free. And then you can fix it yourself. But you might say, well, I still don't like getting into that. That makes me really nervous, But at least this gives you knowledge, right? When you're armed with knowledge, you take that down to your shop. And especially, I hate to admit it, if you're a lady, you take your car into the shop, and if you just say, well, it's making a ka-thump sound, and then you say, oh, it sounds like your engine might need to be replaced. Well, not necessarily. You run a code, and you come walk in there and say, yeah, I ran a code on it, it's P0014. It says it's, the MAP sensor, the MAP sensor, or something like that. And they go, oh, okay. They're a little bit more reluctant to tell you you need to replace a $3,000 engine versus a $20 part. Anytime you can, demonstrate a little bit of knowledge or research on your part beforehand, and you'll learn a lot too. Not only will you save some money and probably not get ripped off, you can save yourself a lot of money using this thing. We have used this 20 times in the last year. It's been a lifesaver. and really, by the way, this does a lot more than just pull codes. There's all kinds of diagnostics. You can get on YouTube. It can show you all the different things to use, and you'll be surprised what you can do with these things for $20. You can get it on Amazon.com, Walmart.com, any place online. One last thing I would say about this. If you're going to get one of these, that little setup here where it plugs in, you're going to want to ask in the frequently asked questions when you find one of these scanners that you want. This is not the only place that makes them, but this was a very highly rated one. A lot of comments on it, a lot of success with it. But you're going to want to ask if that works with your particular vehicle. It does not work with one of our Hondas. This thing will not plug in correctly. I don't want to damage the plug-in by doing it. That I need a different scanner for that. But for several of my vehicles, this works great. Okay, and you can just leave it plugged in your vehicle. You can drive around with this thing in there. It doesn't hurt it. It's always there, ready to go. You can just hit your icon on your phone, your app, bam, you're ready to go. You run your codes. You can see how your engine's running, blah, blah, blah. That's a technical term, blah, blah, blah. It comes in this box right there, BAFX Products OBD2 reader, Wi-Fi reader. Oh, it's the Wonder Cat. So, can't beat that deal. Now, last but not least, this is, I can't get the whole thing in the picture because it's a little bit bigger. This won't fit in your stocking or his stocking or her stocking. This is a foam pad, okay? It's a little bit dirtied up. And it's about ½ an inch thick, as you can see there. And this also comes from Harbor Freight. It's $5, $5 or $6, I think, for a 4-pack. Now, why would I suggest this as a gift? Okay. You ever get a gift from somebody and you go, oh, that looks like a load of fun. Is it fun? No. But it's one of those kind of gifts that you get and you find out you use it all the time. If you're looking for something, if you're rearranging or cleaning underneath your sink, if you're fixing plumbing, if you're out in the garage on the concrete working on the car, if you're out in the garden, if you're working in the driveway, any place where you might want to take one or two of these things so it doesn't rip your legs up when you're down there on the ground, these things are lifesavers. I just used it where the outlet is from the AC where it shoots the condensed water out. I had to get down there and fix where that little PVC pipe came out, and I was out there for about an hour working on it. There's pieces of broken glass and stuff out there that I found out, and rocks and stuff. Laid a couple of these things down, bam, it was great, saved my legs. I wasn't all cut up and everything when I stood up. This for $5. I mean, it's one of these things you use all the time, cost next to nothing to have. Or you can just put it in a place where you have to stand for long periods of time. If you're working like at a workbench at your house, if you have a gardening area or something like that, you can stack these things up and it helps your legs from being fatigued. I know some of you younger people, you don't maybe care about this kind of stuff. When you get to north of 50 and your check engine lights come on, you start, your knees and your back aren't as what they used to be. And it's nice to have these things to kind of save that stuff from getting boogered up or sore. So help the older folks out in your family. You got a grandparent or something like this, that works great for them too. Any of these things work for grandparents. If you got a brother-in-law, something like that. So anyway, I mean, all three of these things, you got 30, 40, 50, $55 for all three gifts. And I don't know about them, but I use it all the time. My family uses this stuff all the time. So if you got any kind of questions about this stuff, let me know. Maybe I'll start doing some reviews from stuff from Harbor Freight. I bought a lot of junk over the years from them, so some of it's been really, really good. So anyway, hope you have a great rest of the day or night, whenever this is, that you're blessed. And just go ahead and post any questions down below, and I'll try and get to them as I see them. You guys be blessed. Take care. Cats. Bye.